If you're watching this video, then chances are you enjoy viewing a finished log home and inspecting the craftsmanship and joinery that goes into their construction, just like I do. In this video, we're going to take the opportunity to remove a log from this partially built log shell so that we can take a look at the underside of the log that's usually hidden from view on a finished log home and take a look at where all the magic happens. Welcome to another Log Talk with Dave. We're here at the British Columbia School of Log Building, and today we're going to take a look at the secret life of a log house log. This is a small 20 by 20 full scribe saddle notch log cabin shell that we're working on. It's being built with beautiful 18-inch locally harvested Douglas fir. So let's get this log off the wall, down onto the ground so we can roll it over and take a look at the hidden side. Okay, we've got this log off the wall and on the ground. We've rolled it over, so we're now looking at the underside of this full scribe cabin log. Let's start with some basic terminology. The log consists of three main parts. Firstly, the area that's on the outside of the notch is referred to as the flyway. This would be the flyway on the building, anything from the outside. Next, moving down the line, we have the notch itself. In this particular situation, this is a saddle notch that we're using. And then the area of log between one notch and the next notch is referred to as the belly. So the long groove that runs the length of the log underneath is referred to as the belly groove. Starting with the flyway, we can see that the outer 6 inches is a well-fitted and scribed area which we refer to as the cup. Now if we look back at our building here, we can see the cup displayed here. This is an exact scribe of the log below that takes that exact shape. When you look at a finished house, if you're not familiar with the secret life of a log, then you would have probably assumed that that cup shape continues all the way down the length of the log. But if we look again at our flyway, we can see that that cup only extends for approximately 6 inches, and then we switch over to a more utilitarian way of removing the material, and that's the same idea that continues through the belly. If you're wondering why there's this gap left between the upper log and the lower log in the cup, be sure and check out our Log Talk with Dave on overscribing. All right, moving along the length of the log, next we get to the saddle notch area. Now, of course, this area is where the wood is removed so that the structural corner notch can take place. That's what gives the building its rigidity and ties the individual logs together. This particular style of notch uses extra spline that's left in the notch that we refer to as a dog bone. That just gives added strength to the holding wood of the notch. Now, some of the characteristics that we're looking for in a good saddle notch, we want just the outer edges to be the bearing surface on the saddle of the next log. So the way we can check that is just to run a straight edge along and make sure that there maintains some space between the straight edge. Now, this area will be used to put a foam gasket along the outer edge, as well as some sheep's wool insulation to fill the void and increase the R value of the notch. Because the saddle notch style that we used had the dog bone spine left in it for additional holding wood, we therefore have to remove a channel of wood from the saddle below to allow the notch to come down and fully interlock. All right, moving on to the third and final section of our log, we have the long belly groove. Now, if we look at the overall shape of the belly groove, you can see a ever-changing shape, and the reason for that is because it is an exact scribed mirror to the humps and bumps on this log. So whatever this log naturally does, our scribe line should follow that. The depth of our belly groove is directly related to the width of the belly groove. So if we take this small log cookie and set it on here, we can kind of get a sense of how this system works. This scribe line dictates where we need to cut, and we need to remove enough wood from the belly so that the log below is able to protrude up into the belly if necessary, but of course we don't want it to hang up on the top side of the belly. So we want all the weight to only bear on the edge of the belly groove scribe line to maintain a nice tight fit over time. And we also want to leave enough room again to put in our foam gaskets along the side and our sheep's wool insulation along the length of the belly groove. This is a log house gasketing that goes along the belly groove. It's referred to as Pea Gasket because of the P-shaped profile. If we look at our belly groove, we can see along the edge of the scribe line we have an extra shelf or ledge that's cut in. The purpose for this is that when the Pea Gasket is applied, it gives a ledge for the gasket to bear on, and then when the next log comes in, it compresses down and is held firm in place, and then it can also rebound if necessary to fill up any air spaces that may occur and maintain a nice tight air seal over time. The Pea Gasket is stapled along the length, runs down both sides of the belly as well as through the notch, and then the space in between the two Pea Gaskets will be filled with sheep's wool insulation. Thanks for watching our video on the secret life of a log home log. If you enjoy these Logs Talks with Dave, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you again back here soon.